We have finally made it to the last recap video of 2022, and only a casual 6 months late. It feels so good to be finally wrapping up this series, and luckily I have some great watches from December to share with you today. The first film I watched in December was The Gleaners and I 2 Years Later from Agnes Varda. This is a follow-up documentary revisiting some of the people from documentary The Gleaners and I, which I watched last month. The people discuss where they're at now, how the success of the documentary has impacted their lives, and if they're still gleaning in the same way and for the same reasons. The documentary was more of the same ideas, themes, and concepts from the previous, but it was still a pleasant and interesting watch. Then, on Christmas Eve, I watched Sister Act, one of my favorite films of all time. There's something in the water with these comedies from the 80s and the 90s. They just get it right. I'm sure most of you have seen or heard of this film, and if you haven't seen it yet, I strongly encourage you to watch it. It doesn't matter if you're religious or not. The story is so funny, smart, and heartfelt. The music is uplifting, and the performances always crack me up. It's a 10 out of 10 watch and perfect for the holiday season. Then I watched Glass Onion, the sequel to Knives Out. I haven't seen the first Knives Out, so I don't have a comparison to make with the first one, but I thought this movie was pretty solid. The mystery kept me on my toes, even though I was able to predict a small part of it, and the characters were funny and interesting. I particularly enjoyed the send-up of the Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos entrepreneur type. Next, I watched Avatar: The Way of Water in cinemas, which I thought was pretty spectacular. The story was kind of straightforward, but in all honesty, I don't think anyone was expecting anything plot-wise to be too developed or profound. When you watch an Avatar movie, you're watching for the visuals, to be immersed in a completely different world, and that's where the movie exceeds. Watching this in 3D was an absolute treat. The visuals were outstanding. They were so detailed and intricate. The movie is long, and it takes about a full hour to even get to the water part of the movie, but it's such a visual feast that I happily went along for the ride. I never thought that we'd actually get to see another Avatar movie ever again, so all in all, this movie was a great treat. And the final movie that I watched in 2022 on New Year's Eve was Dogtooth by Yorgos Lanthimos. For those who've watched this, I understand it's a weird pick, but I've always wanted to watch this movie, especially as I've become more familiar with the style and genre of Greek weird wave. Dogtooth is a thriller about a reclusive family. The parents keep their children isolated on their property. They're taught the outside world is dangerous and to never leave their home. They're taught a bunch of incorrect things, such as the wrong definition of words, and that the cat is the most dangerous animal in the world. And at the start, it's almost like a comedy, seeing how much they've been led astray and been fed the wrong things. But this doesn't last very long, as Dogtooth is one of the most uncomfortable films I've seen in a very long time. As the parents' plan to keep the children isolated starts to unravel, the movie gets very weird very quickly, and it is certainly not for the faint of heart. I can't say that I enjoyed this film because I don't think that the subject matter of the film is something that you can enjoy, but I did appreciate and admire a lot of things with this film. The plot is insane, but I was hooked the whole way through, and the story stuck with me for many days after, which I always respect when a film can do that. The cinematography and camera work had this interesting, plain, almost clinical look to it, which I liked as well. Dogtooth was a strange choice, but a strong film to end the year on, and it was good to watch another film within the Greek weird wave genre. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it if you've seen it or any other film from this genre. So there are all the films from December 2022, and officially all the films I've watched in 2022 reviewed. It's been quite a big undertaking remembering and reviewing all the films I'd seen, and I'd like to thank you all for listening in and sharing your thoughts in the comments. I look forward to seeing you guys in my upcoming videos. I have some major videos and announcements coming soon, so I hope you'll stick around and continue to support my work. Thank you for watching.